Welcome back to the First Sergeant Effect Coaching with yours truly. My name is Robyn, the retired United States Marine Corps First Sergeant. Yes, I love being a Marine, and yes, I'm probably going to introduce myself in every video, so just deal with it. Before we get started, please like, share, follow, subscribe, and I am having a sip of something. Don't ask what's in my cup. I'll just say it's a red watermelon flavored Red Bull, so stop with the stereotypes. Yes, liking watermelon flavored is okay. But look at that. Marines are awesome. My Marines got me that when I left one of the duty stations. They're amazing. If you hadn't served, you need to get up and serve. So before we get started, like I say, like, share, follow. You're already here. You might as well follow because, again, we're talking about high-level conversations. Please remember that if you need personal or parent leadership coaching, please contact me. I'm going to have another video coming up, and it's going to be talking about permissive parenting and why that's a problem. So that's in another video. Let's get started about SNAP benefits. So SNAP benefits, I myself called the Human and Health Services Division here in Texas, in the state of Texas. And the number is 211 if you live in the state of Texas, so you can hear yourself what the recording states. So the recording that they have on the 211 phone number actually states that if the government shutdown continues past 27 October, which I want to say is Monday, that benefits for November, SNAP benefits will not, not be paid. So please be leery, be prepared. It looks like the letter that I referred to that was sent from the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, was to the states and letting the states know that the federal government does not have the money to pay for the SNAP benefits. So if the state level does not have the money to step up and pay the SNAP benefits, then the SNAP benefits won't be paid. A lot of states are out of money or have a very tight budget and cannot afford to pay for SNAP benefits for all of the recipients in their states, respective states. So please, please, please do what you need to do to prepare for this. And I saw on all of the major platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, that there is a small population of SNAP benefit recipients who said, this is what they said, this is what she said in the video. The lady said she is going to go to the grocery store on the 1st of November, get everything in her basket that she would normally buy. Then she said she go into the counter, and then she said she gonna swipe her card. I don't know if it's called EBT or SNAP card, whatever. When I was on food stamps back in the day growing up, we still had, I call it food stamps still. It was the book where you had to tear out the piece of paper that had the dollar amount on it. So she said she's going to swipe her card, and she said even if the card doesn't have anything on it, she is walking out of the door with everything in her basket, and she's going to have some people outside ready so she can throw the stuff in the car, and they taking off. Please be leery. So if you know a gas station owner, grocery store, small grocery store owner, bodega owner, please be mindful that these, and I don't want to sound so superior by saying these people, but the SNAP benefit recipient people, some of them, have all intentions of going into the stores and walking out, whether SNAP benefits are paid in November or not. That's not fair to the rest of us who pay for our groceries, and of course those of us who know how the system works, right? If stores usually account in their budget every year for a certain amount of loss, whether it's damage, returns, theft, whatever. When they exceed that amount, typically they will pass those costs down, those losses down to us, the consumers. So we're going to be the ones paying for these people that plan to run into the stores and do all of this stuff if the threshold is high enough. And I mean, don't worry, because they're not getting away with it. Whenever SNAP benefits are paid again, they in turn will have to pay the price as well, because the groceries will be higher, and so their SNAP benefits won't go as far because of the groceries being higher. But again, it's just not fair, and it's just not right. I grew up on food stamps, and I'll tell you what, even when we were at our poorest, when we could only run one set of bath water a day in our house, and our back was against the wall, my mama never approved of anybody stealing, and probably would have beat the hell out of us if anybody got caught stealing. But what my mama did was, as a single parent growing up in the projects, is she talked to us and she told us not to. She used her life as a cautionary tale. She told us to go out and get an education and not to make the same mistakes she did. And she didn't finish college. She told us not to be afraid of life and not to be afraid to try, and not to let life beat you down to a point where you can't move and you can't advance. And unfortunately, that's what happened to her. She had some rough times in life, and she just stopped and just kind of gave up. And so, that was the motivation for me to make sure I got out and did things. And that's part of the reason why I joined the military. I left in my mama's house at 17 years old and joined the military. And I was from Louisiana or Shreveport, Louisiana to be exact. And I hadn't been no further than Dallas, Texas. Straight there, straight back. But I knew enough to know that I didn't want to be in poverty and I didn't want to be dependent upon the government. And my mama was the first person who told me that. I didn't need anybody in society, the government, the news, or anybody else to tell me that. She told me that. And I mean, I'm fully aware that a lot of parents may not be educating their kids in that method. And some parents are okay with being on government assistance. My mama wanted to make sure we know that it ain't shit cool about being on government assistance. They have too much control. You feel really low, at least she did, as a person having to be reliant up on government programs to feed their children. And I'll go and say this, having said all of that, Americans are spoiled. Some of these videos that people are posting on TikTok and things like that, and some of these people are pretty brazen. They're not covering their faces or anything. They're just like, boom, I'm going into the store and I'm stealing and I don't care. So I'm just like, wow. But Americans are spoiled. It's a lot of people online saying that the government should be giving them these SNAP benefits and things like that. The world, according to me, my sentiments alone, I think it's 3 groups of people that should be getting benefits automatically. Veterans, disabled people, and that's disabled children. So if the mom can't work because the child is disabled, or dad can't work because the child is disabled, that household should get benefits. And elderly people. Veterans, because guess what? They stood up and they answered the nation's call. And people can talk trash all they want to. Oh, the veterans get taken care of. To hell with you. If you have not served in the military and you have not endured some PTSD and some other things that veterans may be enduring that prevents them from being able to keep a steady job, then you don't know what they're experiencing. And again, they answered the nation's call. I said on another video, it's only about 1.3 million people between active duty and weekend warriors that are in the military at one time. And that's to guard all of these people in America is billions of people in America. So think about that. The math is not even equatable. So veterans should, if they need assistance, they should damn sure get it. Disabled folks, adults are disabled, a household with a disabled child, hands down, because guess what? Nobody asks to be disabled. If somebody is disabled or gave birth to a disabled child, they should be able to get help because that parent needs to be at home, or one parent needs to be at home to fully devote time and attention to that disabled child. Thirdly, elderly people. Elderly people don't have the physicality to work any longer. They can't be out there standing on their feet. Now, yeah, we see older people standing there sometimes being a greeter at Walmart. But again, I'm sure if they didn't have to work, right, they probably wouldn't be working. And again, in every other country, elderly people are held in high regard because of their age and their wisdom. We should be able to take care of our elderly. So again, that's just the world according to me. I'm not anybody in charge. I'm just telling you my 2 cents. Lastly, there is also a group of these SNAP benefit recipients. And again, not all of them, but some of them have gotten online and they said they're willing to commit violence and they're willing to do whatever they have to do. So if they see you going to your car with your groceries, they are willing to hit a lick and run down on you and get your groceries. So please be careful. Please be vigilant when you're going to the grocery store. And it's sad that we have to say this because it feels like we're in a real life episode of Hunger Games. But don't get caught slipping, because again, these people have stated that if there are no benefits for November, they're going to do whatever they have to do to take whatever they need to get their children and families fed. And again, like I say, Americans are spoiled because in other countries, socialist, really hate using that word, but socialist style programs are not even given out. Everybody has to be able to take care of themselves. And I know that sometimes, a lot of times people don't like socialist programs that help people, but guess what? Socialist programs are helping these big companies when they give them subsidies. So it's the same thing. It's just the subsidies are going to the rich versus the individual families that are poor. So just be vigilant, be careful, and again, contact your local state, your state agencies to see if they're going to be able to pay out SNAP benefits or not. But this is the First Sergeant, retired, and I will see you in the next video.